Hey, what's up guys? Travis here with Every Single Sunday. Tonight we are working in the garage with a brand new product from Rottweiler Performance. This is their full intake system, the rally version for your KTM 790 or 890 Adventure. So like I said in the intro guys, this right here is a little jewel that we've all been dreaming about getting our hands on for quite some time. I think the speculation of these started about a year ago on some of the Facebook groups, some of the forums, and basically anyone who's known Rottweiler for a while and what type of stuff they produce, they just knew one was going to come out for the KTM 790 at the time, and now with the introduction of the new KTM 890, this product is going to work on both of those bikes. So before we actually dive in and start putting this on the bike, what I'm going to do is open this up, because this is essentially how it's going to ship to you, and I'm going to show you exactly what comes with the kit, what you're going to need to do before you install it, and what's to be expected with the install itself. Alright guys, really quick before I start showing you the pieces I have, I want to show you the different options that are available if you order one of these. You can get their rally version, which is carbon fiber. You can get either a matte finish or a gloss finish. And then they have their pro version, which is essentially plastic, and you can get orange and gray with that. The rally version costs $650, the pro version costs $350. They're going to give you the same power numbers. It's just you want that sex appeal of the carbon fiber. And this carbon is beautiful. This is some of the nicest carbon I've ever seen. It reminds me of like the Akropovic stuff, like those $1,000 fenders they sell for their bikes, or the beautiful end caps. And as far as power, this system, when they told me the numbers it made, totally blew my mind. I thought they were kidding at first. 9 horsepower to the wheel with just the kit bolted on, or 15 if you get a tune with it. Just insane. All right guys, so let's dive into what you're going to get when you purchase this full intake system from Rottweiler Performance. So you're going to have two parts kind of together, so we're going to cut these off. If you got some dikes available, that'll probably work a little better for you. I'm just going to use some scissors here because they were readily available. So I cut the 2 zip ties off. Those are trash, obviously. And let's see what else we have here. So we got that. Got a nice piece of tape here holding everything together. Take the tape off. A little bit of packaging foam just to keep things nice. And then we have our couple pieces right here, it looks like. So, and then we have an air filter as well. So we'll set that aside for a moment. And we also have a little bag of stuff with some different pieces of hardware here. And I got a clip from when I stopped by Rottweiler the other day, and Chris kind of explains what all's in here, so I'll drop that in the video. So basically, this is going to be your airbox slash mudguard that's going to go in the bike and replace the factory one. This portion right here is the intake, obviously. So you're going to change some parts over to here, the little stacks, and then bolt these 4 pieces together. So this is the air filter that is included with the kit for you right here. It's made by Twin Air, but it is a special size for Rottweiler directly. It comes without any oil on it, so make sure to oil this. And then also, this is a pre-production unit here. This one's orange. This is going to be black on the actual pieces that ship. The black ones are fire retardant in case there's some sort of issue with things there. So when yours shows up with black instead of orange on it, that's why. It's not that there was just a different version. The black is actually an upgrade over the orange one that I have here on this pre-production unit. So in our bag of parts here, let's dump this out for us. All right.
Okay, these two with the paint on them, the yellow paint, these are the temperature sensor. Mm-hmm. These are up in the splash guard, the thing we, you know, up in the middle of the bottom of the splash guard. And this is the filter plate to the splash guard. Okay. And then these are what make your whole bike go super fast. I like those.
All right, guys, so let's dive into this project. We're going to have to remove a few things, obviously, to get to the airbox. It's below the seat if you're really confused on where it goes. So I'm going to pull my Moscow Moto bags off. I'm going to pull my seat off. If you've never removed your subframe, it's actually 2 pieces. There's a right side, there's a left side. And to install this, you don't need to remove both halves of it. You only have to take off the left-hand side, which has the wiring harness go through it. As far as taking the gas tank off, since I have a pre-production unit, I'm not really sure if I have to take it off. There are the clamps where the intake bolts onto the throttle bodies, I believe it is, and they're pretty hard to access. I've looked under there and it looks like I can get to them, but at the same time, I'm gonna be taking my gas tank off to do some prep work on my bike for an upcoming event. So I'm gonna be taking my gas tank off. So real quick here, guys, just wanted to throw a couple clips in of tearing the bike down, taking off the AXP skid plate, my bags, and pulling the gas tank. But you do not need to remove the gas tank. All right, guys, so let's look at exactly what we're doing, what we're gonna be replacing, and then we'll kind of dive into it. So basically, like I mentioned, we're gonna have to take off half of the rear subframe here. So basically that's gonna mean these 2 bolts here. We're gonna need to take off this key assembly here for the rear seat release. Take off these guys. This whole portion right here is gonna have to come out. We're gonna need to take this off. And I believe underneath the bike here, we need to take off our rear license plate mount because these screws tie into all this stuff up. Then this is our stock airbox here, obviously. Got my power plate, which has been, I'm gonna say neglected a little bit. There you go. So our breather hose right here kind of comes down right here and blocks the clamp blocks access to the clamp to remove this. So what I was told is to take this hose, bring it all the way up here, this is the other half of it, and we're gonna kind of pull it through, giving us more room up in this area right there. So right here, basically I just start taking out all of the bolts to get this half of the subframe off. I started with the front 2, we took off the seat release mechanism there, underneath the tail, and then all the bolts down the left-hand side. And I thought I had it, except we found 2 more at the bottom, which I show you right here. All right, found a couple more screws down here. So I got 2 on this brace that goes across, and then 1 more that comes up into the box itself. So this might come off now. Bam, look at that. This thing is freaking heavy. When's someone coming out with one of these in a lightweight version? That'll save some weight. All right, so let's start at the back and work our way forward. Take off my power plate here. Zip tie on the Airbox breather hose, and then we're gonna pull that off. So to access the clamp on this side, it's at the bottom, which is behind whatever this is, throttle assembly or something like that. All right, so I'll be able to put a screwdriver straight through there, loosen that up, should pop off, and the other side will be easy to access. Just like that. All right, so those are loose. So this guy now should, 1 and 2, and she's off. So, hooray. These are what I was trying to get to right here. Like I said, they're at the bottom. Might relocate them to the top or something, just want to see what's gonna line up and what'll work. So at this point, guys, you can either install these in 2 separate pieces, putting, well, this in first and then this in. But Chris told me, Chris at Rottweiler that is, that you can bolt these together before it goes in using the provided hardware, which we'll do here in a minute, and then pop it in all as one. He said this portion is a little tight, and as you go in, you just kind of have to push it in, and you'll hear it just go snap and pop in nice and easily. So let's clean some of this stuff up, because one of the things we need to install is a piece of foam here so that this seals nicely and we don't get more dirt in this whole thing. Who would get one of these bikes dirty? Not me. All right, guys, so I cleaned this off a little bit. They do include this foam strip right here, and this is gonna go across this right about this seam right here. And what that's gonna do is gonna help seal between the carbon airbox portion and this rear mud guard. So peel this back and see how she do. All right, so believe that goes right there. If not, we'll be talking about it in a minute. All right, next up, guys, we're gonna need to remove these, and we should be able to just squeeze them and pull them out. I'm gonna pull these clamps off of here just so I don't mess them up. Set those up there. And then just kind of start working them around, just like that. And perfect. See how nice and clean those are on the inside. Even with that super dirty pre-filter on the Rottweiler power plate, these things have stayed fantastic because of what that thing does as far as filtration goes. So 1, 2, so those are out. We're going to transfer these over to the new Airbox. I have a video of Chris at Rottweiler showing me the correct way to do that, so I'm going to do that, or drop that in the video here for you guys, and then I'll go clean these up so they're ready to roll.
Just get it in and just fold it. Yep. Shove it in there, get it down to there. Okay. Now the rest, I'll show you. I have a special tool that I use, but you can use a screwdriver. It just leaves like
A little mar or something.
a little bit of a mar. I have like this little soft tool.
Okay.
You know, it helps, but you can use whatever you want. So what I do is you basically just kind of pull it to the side, get it down in there, and then just start working your way around. Now, as soon as you get over half of it in there, so now what I'm doing is I'm putting pressure this way.
Yeah.
So it kind of holds that in the groove. If you let go, it'll pop out. But once you get over half, it starts to kind of pull itself in. So what you just want to make sure you're not pushing and jamming on the foam.
Right.
But we'll see. Boom.
Easy peasy.
And that's it.
All right, guys, so we got this bolted together right here. These are the 4 screws all the way around. They used a 3mm Allen on this side, and then there was a plastic washer, and then the nut, which used a 8mm wrench. This side, I need to switch over our intake air temperature sensor from the stock intake to this one, and that'll use the provided cap head screws. Those are the ones with the big square head on them with the green Loctite already installed. So we're going to swap those onto here and get the plugs in, and then we'll be ready to put this on the bike. Also, be careful with these screws. They go into aluminum, I believe, and they're steel. So make sure those go in nice and straight. Didn't have any issues, but just took my time with them. And then also we got our drains installed. Those just push right through, so that was easy. So intake air temperature sensor, that's already included on this from the factory. So next up, install the clamps and send her home. Want to make sure that you orient these so they're facing out on both sides. That way they're good to go. For good luck, put a little bit of spit in there just to help those slide on. So this part right here, I did not trim. This is basically real time of me trying to get these installed here. I didn't have any problem with the hose clamps falling off. Also, I put them both on the top with the screws facing outward, which was easier to retighten them. But anyway, I wanted to show you how long it took me to get this installed here. And it wasn't that bad. Everything snapped together very easily, and I wasn't frustrated at all. I mean, you guys have all had projects that are frustrating, and you know what that's like. This was not one of the projects. It went together very well, and I was pleased with how easy it was. And this was the first time I've put one of these on or done anything like this on this bike, so I was kind of being cautious, taking my time, and working my way from one side back to the other, so that's why I go back and forth a few times throughout this. And 2. It's in, it's seated. Everything went together very easily. I was expecting a little bit more craziness on getting that to pop and snap in together, so that's good. Also, I put the screws on the top of those clamps. Easier to access over on this side for sure. So I'm going to snug those down and start the reassembly process. Next up, we're going to be taking these, the long screw, the big washer, and the nut, and we're going to be installing these right here to seat this up against this half of the frame rail so it doesn't move and stays in. Then we'll start bolting the other half on. You can probably run this from the bottom up or the top down. I'm going to go from the bottom up just because it's visible from the outside and it'll look cleaner that way to me. And quick little wipe down on this guy. So before I get any further, I need to run all of my electronics back down. From the factory, they were along the top. Rottweiler left some extra room in here so you can run them down the bottom and that way. So I got my little picture that I took the other day on how to put it together. So they'll have better directions on their instructions, but I'm already messing up starting with these screws here. So I'm gonna back these bad boys back out. There you go. So that'll fit down there. This guy will plug back in right like that. All right. And then stuff will come up through here. Just like that. All right, so that is the gist of it. I got to put one more screw in there for this half and start putting the rest of the little screws together. So, I mean, we're pretty much there, guys. I'm going to show you how this filter goes on. Showed you guys the filter before. Like I mentioned, this portion that's orange will be black on the versions you guys get. The black's a flame retardant portion of this. So just got this pre-production. So anyway, this will go in like that. So that'll be there. And also, obviously, you want to oil this before you put it together. This guy will drop through here, right through the center. And like I mentioned, this will be orange, not silver. This is a pre-production unit. So it'll be powder coated orange to match everything else. And let's see how easy this is to line up here. And bam, that is pretty much it, minus a tail light and some other stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and patch that back up. We'll pull this off, get it oiled, and she will be ready to rock for this weekend, next weekend, for the LA Barstow to Vegas ride, which will be 500 miles of dust, and that'll be the test for this system. All right, guys, so there you have it. Install took about 3 hours. That was including taking the gas tank off and some other stuff. Still not sure if you need to do that, so check with Rottweiler. I got a bunch of other service stuff to do on this before this weekend or before next weekend for Barstow to Vegas. Still need to oil the filter, put stuff back together, so I'm thinking 3.5, 4 hours if you're moving through. I took a lot of breaks, did a lot of video stuff, and yeah. So anyway, there it is. Install is super smooth, straightforward, easy to do, and these will be shipping in December for the carbon at $650. Plastic version $350, I believe, and should be available in January. So I'm excited. Hope you guys are too. Check them out at rottweilerperformance.com. And anything else, questions, whatever, give Rottweiler a call or post up in the comments of this video, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy and have a good one. Get out and ride.